Okay, we're good to
Awesome. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today we're going to be learning more about color in watercolors. So there are two different ways to mix colors with watercolors. We can mix our paint together on our palette like all other paints. If you want like a green, you mix blue and yellow and you get green. Or with watercolor, since it's translucent and you can see the layers beneath it, you can visually mix colors on your paper, which is what we're going to explore today. And I love this about watercolors is because, like, if you lay down one color and another color on top, your eyes visually mix the color. It's kind of like magic. So okay, so you'll need your water, cup of water. You'll need a brush. You'll need your paint. And we're going to be working with yellow, blue, and red, since those are our three primary colors.
Yellow, blue, and red?
Yeah, yellow, blue, and red. We can't mix those colors. Those just are those primary colors. Okay? So you can go ahead and start adding some water to those colors if you'd like.
I'm gonna do either blue or
I don't know. Your palette might have a couple different blues or something. Just,
my palette is a little messy.
Awesome. Okay, that's perfect. Yep. You just have one to choose from, and that's great. Makes it easy.
I'll choose. It's perfect.
Okay. So because we're going to be using different colors, you might want a paper towel to dry out your brush so you can get the color out of your brush completely before moving on to the next color. And sometimes it's nice to have 2 cups of water, but it's fine if you don't because I didn't tell you to. One I use to rinse out my brush and it gets pretty dirty. And the other one's just for clean water, just for adding water to my paint. Because when I wash out my brush, my water then kind of becomes watercolor. It gets colored with that pigment. And then if I use it to add to another color, then it affects that color. But it'll be fine if you don't have that. Okay. So we are going to start. Okay, so you need a pencil.
Not a pencil.
A drawing pencil. Yeah, like not a watercolor pencil. And like yesterday, since we're working in washes, we are going to use a couple different papers. So you could tear off a paper if you need to.
Why are you tearing me?
That way we can work on a couple different things while it dries. Okay, so we're going to start by drawing 3 circles, and they're going to overlap a little.
Oh, I do see.
You guys seen this before? Where they kind of overlap. And then in the center, they overlap. So if you need to redraw them a few times, you can do that to adjust them. You can just erase and redraw if you need to. But they kind of make a triangle shape. One's on top and 2 on the bottom. And they overlap each other. Okay, a little bit different, Madeline. So this one needs to be on top. And then these two are underneath it. Perfect. Okay. Did you guys get yours, boys? Does yours look like this? Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So when we are painting with watercolors, we usually start with the lightest value first, and then we work our way up to the darker values. So remember I said we work from light to dark, and that's even in colors as well. So usually when I'm starting with watercolors, I'll do my washes in yellow first. So all the light areas that need yellow. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get water in our yellow.
water in our yellow.
And get lots of water in it. So I can make sure that it's really translucent. Because I really want to see how they affect together. And if I don't use a lot of water, then my paint's going to be really thick and I'm not going to get that translucent effect that I love about watercolor. Okay, and then this one, you're going to paint your top circle.
Yellow.
And paint your top circle yellow. Just like that. Okay, and then when you're done with that, you can set it aside to let it dry. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep, ready already.
Okay, and then on this paper, we're going to do 3 circles again, but they're going to be completely separate. They're not going to be touching. 3 completely separate circles. And you can make them, you don't have to make them all in a row. It doesn't matter where they are on the paper. But make them big enough to where you can really see what's happening. Okay, so we're going to be putting washes of red, blue, and yellow in each of these circles, but in different order to see what happens. Okay. So in the first circle, we're going to put our blue first. So you can rinse out your paintbrush or use a different one. And if you're using the same paintbrush, you can dab it on your paper towel to make sure all that pigment's out of your paintbrush.
Okay.
And then get lots of water to add to your blue.
My blue is pretty deep.
You've been using it a lot, huh?
Blue. Blue is the color of sky blue.
Awesome. That's great. Okay, so I'm just going to do a wash of blue in my first circle.
Whoa.
Just like that. Okay, and then in my second circle, I'm also going to do blue.
Blue?
Yep.
Oh, yay, the blue is the color.
So you can also do blue in your second circle.
Okay.
And I should have just had you do your yellow at the same time. But in our third circle, we're going to do yellow. So either use your yellow paintbrush or rinse out your paintbrush real good and dab it on your paper towel to make sure you got all that blue out. And then grab some yellow to do in your third circle. So you should have 2 that are blue and 1 that's yellow. Okay, I'm going to set that aside to let it dry, and I'm going to bring back my other. You can see mine's kind of shiny, so it's still a little wet. Try and dry it. If it is just a little spot that's wet, you could also just use your paper towel to dry that. Just dab it. Now it's no longer wet. Okay.
Find the jar.
We ready?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to get lots of water in my red now.
Get some red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to do red. We're going to paint our red in our left circle. And it's going to go over that yellow. And you can kind of see what it did in that yellow. Do you guys see what color it made, that red and yellow?
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty orange, doesn't it?
Yep.
So that's kind of cool. But visually, we kind of mixed that color. We didn't have to mix it beforehand. Okay, we're going to set that aside once you're done. We're going to keep using red. So you get your 3 circles out. Okay, we're not going to paint anything in our first blue circle, but we're going to put red in our second blue circle. And just make sure that it's completely dry. If it's not all the way dry, just pat it with your paper towel. And that should be fine. I'm going to put red on top of my blue in my second circle. And make sure that You have lots of water in your red so that you can see through it. I'm going to add more water to my red.
It's almost going to be just like a violet.
Yeah, it does. Okay, and then in our yellow circle, we're just going to paint red on this top part.
Of the yellow?
Yeah, just the top.
Mine's violet. Oh, is it pretty? I made it, but I just cast it with my.
Okay, so we have red on our second blue circle and red on just the top half of our yellow.
Okay, looks like it's on the bottom when you're showing it. So put it. There you are.
Okay, I'm going to set that aside to dry. I'm going to bring over my 3 circles that are overlapping again. And I'm going to be switching to blue. So I'm going to rinse out my brush or use a different brush for my blue. Make sure to add lots of water to your blue color. And I'm going to paint this third circle with my blue. So now it looks like that. You can see lots of different colors in there, can't you? And you can see green and purple and orange. And then this really beautiful color right in the middle. And this is one reason why watercolors are so special is because you can do this, because you see through each layer, and it's really cool. So we can play with colors like that. Okay, and then we're going to move to our 3 separate circles. I think we lost, oh no, they're still there, okay.
I think they dropped off and I just let them back in.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then in this first blue circle, we're going to paint some yellow. Making sure to add lots of water to my yellow. Hi, boys. So I don't know where you cut out. But we just painted this last circle blue in our little circle triangle. And then we saw that we can see green and orange and purple, and then this really beautiful color right in the middle where they all overlap. So that's really cool that you can do that with watercolors. And professional watercolorists do this all the time. They mix their paints on the paper. And then when you have that done, we're going to paint yellow in our blue circle.
I'm left behind.
That's fine, I can wait.
So you said yellow in a blue circle?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
My red circle is still a little wet, so I'm just gonna dab it.
oh, I see a little green.
Yeah,
Almost like a green.
that's very pretty. And then we're also going to paint yellow in the middle circle where we have blue and red already. We're going to paint yellow on top of it. Bless you.
Thank you. Nope. Wait, I got some more water.
And then we're going to rinse out our brush a bit. And we're going to put blue in the bottom half of our yellow and red circle.
Bottom half. Okay, here. No other colors but blue, yellow.
That's right. You can achieve a lot of different colors with just blue, yellow, and red.
So
Lot of
blue. I'm going to be out of blue soon.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and paint blue all over the circle, even on the red part, just to see what happens.
No.
Okay, and then on the first circle, I'm going to dab it a little because my yellow's still wet. And we're going to put a wash of red on the very top. Oh, you know what? Not red. Sorry. We're going to do another wash of yellow.
Could you add a wash of red? Because I was still bringing it apart.
Yeah. We're going to do 2 yellow washes. So 1 more wash of yellow. And see how that changes. See if the color changes more when you add another yellow layer.
Need a beautiful napkin color.
And then you can observe your colors and see if they look different depending on which one we put first. So there's yellow, red, and blue at the top, and there's blue, red, and yellow. So kind of backwards. And very similar. But I do think it's a little different of a color. What do you guys think?
Love it.
Yeah, you love it?
Like.
It's kind of fun. So you can experiment with layering different colors to see what happens.
We're getting a thumbs up from the Canon boys.
Cool. Awesome. Was that fun to like experiment with colors in this way?
Yeah.
Cool. So we can do a project now.
Yay, I want to do another house.
And I just wanted to show you these watercolor paintings and how they layered colors. They probably just layered blue and red on this wash in the background to get this really beautiful sky. Maybe there's a little yellow in there, but mostly just 3 colors in that painting. And same in this one, mostly just those 3 colors. But look at all the different values they were able to get and all the different shades of color. So really cool. And then these paintings are from very famous artists. This is Georgia O'Keeffe. She's very famous, and she did like a light red wash, and then when she went back over it, you can tell that it's a little bit more pigmented, like she used a little bit less water each time. And you can do that with watercolors. The first layers, you can use lots of water. And then when you want more detail that stands out, you can use a little bit less water. And then this one is a Turner, and I absolutely love Turner's work. But it's really just yellow and blue. And that's pretty much it. This whole painting is like colors. Yeah, it's really beautiful how he was able to achieve that painting. And then this one is really beautiful as well. I love how lightly colored it is.
Same.
And then this is a Monet. And Monet is very famous. But also just very limited color palette. But you can achieve a lot of different colors with just a few colors. So for our project, I had these ideas. This is also actually a very famous artist, Paul Klee. And I love his work because he just layered blocks of color. And maybe in different amounts of water in his washes, and then he went over it probably at the end with black. So that's kind of cool. You can try to just make square rectangular shapes and layer them. And this is a fun idea, just to make odd circles. Like they don't have to be perfect circles, and they can get smaller and smaller. And just experiment with layering the different colors in different orders, and they kind of look like flowers. They're really pretty. And then this artist, you can do a landscape. Layered beautiful colors. And then this is a cool experiment. You can paint a leaf in yellow, and then he kind of left some white spaces in those little lines where you see in the leaf. And then he went over it in blue. So you can see where he left the page white, the blue stands out more, but the rest is green. Well, that's kind of fun. And then I'm going to paint a sunset, and you can follow me, or you can do one of those other projects.
I'm gonna make another house.
Awesome. That sounds like.
Oh, I think I know what to do. I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna
Start.
draw first.
What'd you say, Madeline?
I'm gonna draw my house first.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yes. I usually always draw things out first.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna start my sunset with a graduated wash. So I'm gonna start with blue and I'm going to graduate into yellow and then red. So because I'm doing a wash, I'm going to use lots of water and I'm angling my paper up.
That is a small story.
And I'm going to take my blue down to almost all the way, like 3/4 of the way. So most of my sky will be blue. To about right there. So most of my sky is blue. And then I'm going to switch to yellow. And then I'm going to switch to red. So just a little short thing of yellow. I'm adding lots of water to my red. And then so it looks like this. I have blue, yellow, and then red. And I'm gonna let it dry for a minute. Okay, now my wash at the top is pretty dry. So I'm going to use some blue, but maybe a little less water. So my blue is going to come out a little darker. And I'm going to add some dramatic clouds to my sky. And I'm just going to scrumble them on, like with my paintbrush wiggling back and forth. And as I come down, I'm going to have a little bit less pigment. And I'm going to stop there for a minute and let it dry. And I kind of see how my clouds are forming. And on my third layer, I'm going to use even less water, but I still have a good amount of water. But my layers are starting to get a little darker. And I'm going to bring my clouds all the way down to here. And I'm using the flat side of my brush. And I'm just painting with the very tip of my flat brush. Maybe they get a little thicker as they go up. That's nice. I see. That looks like a dramatic sky with clouds. Like a sunset. And then I'm going to let that dry again. And off of my palette, I'm mixing blue, red, and yellow. And I want it to be a little thicker, even more, and less water. And you can see how dark it is. And I'm going to paint with like a little detail brush. You can see how tiny that brush is. And I'm just going to put some birds in my sky. Maybe that'll be towards the bottom. So you can see it almost looks black, but it's just blue, red, and yellow all mixed together and really pigmented. You see little birds in my sky. There it is. I don't like using black in my painting because black kind of sucks all the color and light out of your painting. But you can mix like a black light color with the other colors. So it's not really pure black. It's still got some color to it.
Yes. Miss Jess,
Yes, sir.
I made a turquoise and a dark blue.
Wow. That is so awesome. What colors did you mix to make those?
I just mixed yellow, green, and blue.
Awesome. Good job. See, you can discover all kinds of colors. So in your little palette, it looks like those are the only colors you have. But once you start mixing them, you get a lot of colors.
I made a dark blue from blue and purple.
Nice. That works, huh?
Or is it
job.
just a purple? Blue and green.
Good job. Oh, look at you, Madeline. I love it. I love all your shapes. Those are so fun. Good
I used
job.
to watch lily pad.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's interesting to paint. It like really gives that water effect, like it's sitting on the water, huh?
Yeah.
And did you just paint yellow over your blue?
There are all the papers.
Yes.
Nice.
Hey, Daddy, what?
I would never have been able to guess if we didn't just do this class. Everyone would think you used green. Good job.
Yeah.
Look at my dark blue. You can't even see the board anymore. My blue is so dark you can't even see the board anymore.
Nice.
You guys can use your salt or your saran wrap or whatever if you'd like. Remember, you still have those textures you can use.
Yellow, green, and blue. Oh, black and then a dark green.
Actually, red and blue make purple.
Red and blue.
Yeah, try red and blue.
Red.
And blue.
I don't see any purple.
Because you got too much glue.
Oh.
How you doing, Madeline?
Good.
Great. So have you guys loved working with watercolors this week? I love it, Madeline. Looks amazing. Experimented with layering my colors. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week and that you learned a lot.
I did.
Yeah, good. Is watercolor your new favorite medium?
Yep.
It has been a lot of fun watching you guys paint this week. It's been so much fun.
Yes, you guys have all done great. And I'm excited to see all your projects. You guys did a great job.
Let us know if you all have any questions, okay?
Okay.
And don't forget to send us pictures.
Okay.
Yep. And you can go back and rewatch the whole class if you want to.
Yes, I will post it later today, okay?
Okay.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.